Donald Trump is having a disastrous final day on the campaign trail, and that makes me so happy. But what makes me even happier is to say that the final campaign stop of the day was his worst by far, because Donald Trump, at his rally tonight in Pittsburgh, threw an absolute temper tantrum over, you guessed it, crowd size. The crowds at Donald Trump's first two rallies of the day were so small, they were leaving early, and they were driving him crazy, and it was the only thing he could focus on tonight, absolutely melting down, absolutely imploding. It was hilarious to watch, and we are going to get into all of it. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way, and it really means the world to me. Now let's get into some of this crazy Trump speech.
Many people say that God saved me in order to save America. Many people are saying that.
Yeah, the many people who are saying that, Donald, that God saved you and wants you to save the country, those people are either in your MAGA cult or they are you saying it to yourself in the mirror, because no sane individual is certainly saying that. But tell yourself whatever you want, Donald. It's always weird to hear Trump talk about God, because it's not a religious way in which he does so. It's more just him thinking of himself as God, because he's so out of touch, and how out of touch he is really came up right here.
People mention, I go in, so many people mention groceries, that beautiful but simple word, groceries. Sir, my groceries. You don't think of it that way, but that's what they mention more than anything, my groceries.
It's funny to watch Trump try to interact with his cult and pretend that he is not an out-of-touch billionaire who only cares about tax cuts for his rich friends, because one of the most important issues in this election is the cost of day-to-day items, and especially groceries. And Donald Trump really just doesn't seem to care. He seems to be talking down to the issue, saying, oh, people tell me they have problems with groceries. I don't care, because he doesn't. He's not worried about you. He's not worried about me. He's worried about himself. And, of course, fear-mongering, which he did right here.
Incredible. They've got a vicious, horrible group of people, a machine, where they can have open borders and let people pour into the country. They can have transgender operations at any age, anytime you want. They can be pushing men playing in women's sports. And
transphobia has become so central to this Trump campaign in an attempt to push lies and try to paint Kamala Harris as extreme on an issue in which Donald Trump is actually the extreme one, attacking such a marginalized group, such a small percentage of young kids in America, really. This is what it's about for Donald Trump. It is about dividing, it is about hate, it is about anger, and it is about making people's lives worse. That is his campaign. Kamala Harris's campaign is moving forward. It's why her rallies are full and full of energy, and that's why, as we can see in this clip right here, Donald Trump's crowd is falling asleep.
But we had situations where, and we put up videos of the vicious cops. I don't put them up anymore. You know why? Because the fake news refuses to put them on. And I have friends call me, they love to watch the rallies. They can't get enough of them, and they're going, President, it's so terrible. You're speaking, and then you put up a video on a screen right behind you, and the fake news refuses to. All they have to do, they don't put it on television. They have the thing on every one of the stations, and you know, there's one that does it, which is good, but people think they do. Nobody can figure that one out, I'm sure. They don't.
They are out of it. I'm surprised most of the people behind him even showed up. I guess they could have gotten a nap at home, but sure, you can take one at the Trump rally. That's seeming like an increasingly often occurrence. I'm sorry. It's just so funny to me to watch this be the end for Donald Trump as it all collapses around him, as he attempts to try to get his MAGA crowd energized with just really strange comments like this right here.
Oh, those Penn State guys, I wanted them to wrestle the migrants. I told, you know, the UFC, Dana White, oh, they killed me in this. I told Dana, you know, to set up your League of Champions, unbelievable, best fighters in the world, and a migrant league. At the end, I want the migrant to go against the champion, and I think the migrant might actually win. That's how nasty some of these guys are. But
Trump is now saying he wants students at Penn State to wrestle migrants. That's his plan. Kamala Harris has talked about this for a while, not just that she's better on the border, but she doesn't think Donald Trump understands the border. He didn't put together any comprehensive immigration reform. He didn't solve the issue when he had both the House and the Senate, and of course the presidency, because he doesn't know how to fix it. He just wants the issue. As he does with everything else, he just wants to complain. And like I said at the beginning of this video, the complaints weren't just about migrants and other fear-mongering. It became about crowd size, and of course his tiny crowd size, which he tried to project onto Kamala Harris in this meltdown right here.
Kamala has a little rally going on. And when I say little, I mean little. It's a competing rally. It's not this giant place that's sold out. What a beautiful, this is a beautiful place. But, and it's quite embarrassing. It's all over the internet. She's screaming, and the people, it's about 100 people, they're not moving. They just want to go home, just be gone. It's not quite this.
I have never seen more projection from Donald Trump than in that moment and in the clip we're about to watch, saying that tiny crowds and people leaving early and falling asleep and being bored all over the internet. You could look through my channel, Donald. That's you. That's what we've been talking about all today, yesterday, and really for weeks now. It's how people are tired of your rallies. They're leaving earlier and they're just bored. And he can't handle that. He's melting down. It's the reason why he also attacked Beyonce in this clip right here.
Excellent. She'd go and get Beyonce. No. Beyonce would come in. Everyone's expecting a couple of songs. And there were no songs. There was no happiness. It's just like, give me my check. I want to get out of here. But you always put the star. She should have learned this from Crooked Hillary. Always put the star after you. That way the people stay. Finish your speech. Let the star, and even if she doesn't sing, they booed like hell, but the press didn't play that. They booed both of them the hell out of the stadium. But you know what? Even though the act was terrible, it's like by that time you're out of the building, like Elvis had left the building. Elvis has left the building. Now it's terrible.
I don't know if I seem just so joyful in this video. I am, certainly, but it's because he's out of control. He knows he's losing. He knows this is the end. He knows what he is facing, accountability for the first time in his life, and he's just lashing out. But in doing so, he sounds ridiculous. He's just painting this fantasy world around him that doesn't even serve his campaign as he flails towards the end. But someone who is on message, as she has been for the past 106 odd days, is Kamala Harris delivering this closing message right here.
So Allentown, this is it. Just one more day. One more day. One more day left in one of the most consequential elections of our lifetime, and momentum is on our side. Momentum is on our side. Can you feel it? We have momentum, right? Because our campaign has tapped into the ambitions and the aspirations and the dreams of the American people. We are optimistic and excited about what we will do together. And we here know it is time for a new generation of leadership in America. And I am ready to offer that leadership as the next president of the United States of America.
Her campaign has momentum. I don't think we have ever seen anything worse from Donald Trump in terms of the campaign, of course, than these past 10 days. Of course, the start with the Madison Square Garden rally has really been all downhill since then. And Kamala Harris is not only delivering an incredible message taking down Donald Trump, shredding him to pieces, but she has not mentioned his name once today, because she doesn't need to, because this campaign is about her and about moving forward. Just listen to Tim Walz right here.
The Constitution was the law of the land. When dictators and division and darkness were thrown out, and unity and hopeful and a new way forward were in. when everything was on the line, when that little one asked you, what did you do during that election? You're going to be able to answer every damn thing I could. Every damn thing I could.
Not a mention of Donald Trump, a focus on the future. That is what this campaign has been able to do. Of course, this was a referendum on Donald Trump, his failures as president, his attacks on our democracy, the threat that he continues to pose. But it's not anymore. It's not just the doom and gloom. It is the moving forward that we can do in a positive direction with Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. That's what this campaign has become about. They have become so strong that they have been able to move on from Donald Trump before ballots are actually cast and finalized. That is the power of this campaign in uniting us, and it's the power that we see from Kamala Harris right here.
Now, Pennsylvania, the race is not yet over. Okay, we got a lot of work to do, and we have got to finish strong. So listen, we got hard work to do, but here's the thing. We like hard work. Hard work is good work. Hard work is joyful work. Love you, Steve. And America is ready for a new way forward where we see our fellow American not as an enemy, but as a neighbor. We are ready.
We are going forward. We are moving on. We are, you're right, not going back. We're not going back. And we are excited. I am so excited for tomorrow. I genuinely am. I am ready to see Kamala Harris become the next president of the United States. I don't know if it's going to happen tomorrow night. I don't know if it's going to be called. We're going to be keeping up with it. So as always, hit that subscribe button, leave a like, drop a blue heart in the comments, but we are going to be keeping up with it. And I am excited to share that day with you tomorrow. And so I hope to see you soon. And until next time, I will see you soon.